What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. This episode was so emotional. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Wow. I, let me just say this, first of all. I salute every actor, actress in this entire episode on the show, period. Um, Michelle Stafford killed it today. And I normally don't have a use for Nina, but Nina's been killing it. She brought it today. She brought raw emotion. Kirsten Storms knocked it out of the park as usual. Did a fantastic job. All the actors, man, the emotion that they all shown. Amy, crazy. It was just raw emotion. Like I love it because this is how people act when somebody they love and care about dies. That emotion is what you really see in real life. So I tip my hat off to them, to the staff who wrote this episode. It was brilliant. Um, Beautiful, man. It was beautiful acting today. As always, we do, you here and there you might get some shitty storylines, but when you got great actors, even the best actor and actresses can bring it. Even in a bad storyline, they can bring it. And this was a great storyline actually, and they brought it, and I expected nothing less. They brought that emotion a lot. It was emotional, man, because like I say, when you do scenes like this, you have to make the audience feel it. Make them feel like it's real. Make them feel that emotion. And they brought it. They made me feel it. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully, they made the rest of you feel it. I think it was downright brilliant acting. Um, and it was emotional as hell. Obrecht, everything she said to Dante, I agree with 99% of it. Here's the thing: when we bring up the blame game, I think Dante did have a point when he mentioned that Nathan wanted to do the article. Nobody forced him to do the article, which is true. Nathan wanted to do the article and he did it. But I feel like the blame goes to Lulu, and I definitely feel like the blame obviously goes to Peter August. He set this in motion, but Lulu also set this in motion. Yeah, Peter August egged her on, but nobody put a gun to Lulu's head. Lulu's the one who went to Nathan with the idea of doing this story. She put this in motion. She was naive, and so was Nathan. But Lulu, I can't even say Lulu was naive. Lulu was downright arrogant and cocky. She thought, oh, I'm gonna be the one to bring down Cesar Faison. Lulu, you should know better than that. You really should. Come on now. You she's lived in Port Charles for how many years? Come on now. All of your life you pretty much been in Port Charles. You should know Faison's track record. I can understand Dante or Nathan not knowing his track record that well, but I'm pretty sure they read up on him. Because they weren't around when Faison was around terrorizing Port Charles. But anybody who's been a long time Port Charles resident should know Faison's track record, and you should know he's not one to play with. You know, and she opened up a can of worms. Let me just say this: Lulu wrote a check her ass could not cash, and she definitely couldn't cash this check. Definitely, because it was a major one, and it had major repercussions and consequences. Major. Somebody lost their life. A guard got knocked out. Shooting happened. It was a lot of bloodshed. And she shouldered some of the blame on this one. I have to say she did. And notice, and I agree with Obrecht on this, notice everything Obrecht was saying, Dante didn't argue it not one time. Notice he did not argue. So obviously he agreed with what Obrecht said. He agreed with it. Yeah, Dante didn't even want Lulu doing this. He told her it was a bad idea. But I felt like Dante should have. I mean, I agree. Dante, he can't control his wife. She's a grown ass woman. He couldn't control her. There was nothing really he can do but tell her how he didn't think this was a good idea. All he could do was stand there and give his opinion on the situation. That's all he could have done. There was no more he could have done. I don't think there was. Because once Lulu has her mind on something, she's gonna do it whether he likes it or not. And there wasn't a damn thing he can do about it. But he knows everything pretty much Obright said was true. I mean, except the part where I mean, like I said, you can't put 100% of the blame on Lulu. You can't. Point blank, period. I can't. Nobody could if you look at the facts. But she does. I feel like 33% of the blame is on her, 33% of the blame is on Nathan, and 33% of the blame is on Peter. They all set this in motion. But the ringleaders in all of this, and I say leaders, I put an S on it, plural, Peter and Lulu. They were the ringleaders of this. So, but I feel like they all should equally share the blame on this. Even though majority should probably go to the two of them, but I feel like it's an equal thing. It's all equal because everybody played a part in this. Some bigger than others. But when Lulu showed up to that hospital, I did not care for her tears. I didn't care for it. And I'm glad that she didn't have no scene with Maxie. Thank God. And I think the writers did that on purpose. I feel like had they had a scene together, I feel like it would have been something. I feel like it would have been something. Now is not the time for Maxie to see Lulu. Not now. Her emotions are raw right now. She's pissed off. She's hurt. She's angry. Now is not the time. I felt those scenes with Maxie when she was in the room talking to Nathan and he was dead at that point. Those scenes were just so hard to watch, because I felt really bad for Maxie. Really bad for her. Like, she has to come to terms with the fact that she has to raise this child now by herself. Well, technically not by herself. I mean, she does have Max, she has Felicia, and Dante did promise Nathan that he would be there for Maxie and the baby. Plus, he is the baby's godfather. So, that's a good thing that she has, that support system. Plus, Amy's going to be there, however annoying she is. Because, Amy could be a handful. But I do feel like Amy has the best intentions, but she could just be a little borderline annoying at times. But I love Amy though now. To an extent I love Amy. She could be too much, but I do hope that she's a part of the baby's life, because her and Maxie have gotten to a common ground, commonplace. And her and Nathan were friends, so I hope that to some extent Amy is a part of the baby's life and Maxie's life. Um this was just crazy today. It was heartbreaking. It really was. Like I said yesterday, Ryan Pavey, his acting has come a long way since he first debuted on the show 5 years ago. His acting has come a long way, and sometimes I didn't really care for the Nathan character sometimes, but he's the type of character he grows on you. You know what I'm saying? Over time, he grew on me over time. His character really did. He stepped up in a lot of ways, and it just sucks that he's not gonna be there for that baby. In spirit he will be there, but it's just messed up, man. It really is. Aunt Stella. I I I was ready to go in on Aunt Stella today. I was, but I have to give her a pass today because even though she was downright rude as usual and disrespectful, when she barged in Jordan's office and stuff, I give her a pass because she didn't know the circumstances. She didn't know what was going on with Nathan. She didn't know what was going on with Faison. She didn't know about all of this. So I give her a pass today. I know some people won't, but I will. I'm going to give her a pass because she didn't know. And her tune changed when she found out what happened. Her demeanor did change when she found out. Um, I love the scene with Jordan talking to the officers and the other detectives, letting them know what happened to Nathan, because that's real life. That's what happens when one of your own goes down. You hold like a little meeting with the staff, let them know. You know what I'm saying? So this whole episode was just heartbreaking. When Dante covered Nathan's face with the cover with the sheet, I was like, damn. This episode was emotional as shit. Um, Faison was his usual arrogant self. He didn't know at this point that Nathan died when Sam and Drew went to go talk to him. They wanted to know about Heinrich, but of course he wasn't going to tell them nothing because unless it was something in it for him. It was kind of funny how he was taunting Sam and stuff, telling her, "Oh, shouldn't you be back with Jason instead of him, instead of Drew?" And I bust out laughing because I was like, "Hell, even Faison could see that you still in love with Jason. I don't know why you still kidding yourself, but I digress." I really didn't care for Sam and Drew today. I really didn't because with everything else going on in this episode, I just felt like they weren't necessary. They're asking him questions about the flash drive or whatever. Of course, Faison didn't know, and of course they didn't believe him, even though he really didn't know. Peter obviously has the flash drive. And of course, we find out Peter really is Heinrich, the son of Faison. Whoop de doo, we already knew. But he is ruthless. I will say that. He's a ruthless bastard. I feel like if anybody should have killed Faison, it should have been Anna Devane. After all their history and everything that happened with them, if anybody should have killed him, it should have been her. But I kind of understand why they didn't go that route with her killing him. Because Anna's not going to downright, she already pretty much murdered somebody when she shot Carlos. But even though that wasn't murder because he didn't die, but you know what I mean. I can't really see her killing Faison. She had an opportunity on several occasions to murder Faison, but she never did it because she's not a murderer. If it was self defense, that's one thing. But him laying in a hospital bed, her going in there killing him, she wasn't gonna do that. That's not her character. She's not gonna do it. Um, but hopefully Drew and Jason or whoever they could figure out who Heinrich really is. It should be obvious to them by now. I don't see how it's not. Like you kind of have to be stuck on stupid not to figure it out by now. He told y'all Heinrich is in plain sight. How many new people have come into your lives in the past year? Like think about it. You have to think. Think about all the new people that came into your life recently. The new dudes that came into your life recently. That should narrow it down. Um but yeah, this episode was insane. I was like, "Oh my god." Then when Maxie was going through Nathan's belongings at the apartment, and her just having flashbacks to all the happy times her and Nathan had, I said, damn. And when she was going through his stuff and she pulled out the jacket and the badge and the picture of him and her and his watch, reminiscing about how he was always on time and she was always late, that was some sad shit. Then when she pulled out his jacket and pulled out the baby sonogram and it had blood on it, I said, damn. It had like blood all over the sonogram. I said, damn. Damn. Whoever wrote this episode, let me tell y'all wrote the hell out this episode. I give my hats is off to you. Listen, y'all did a great job with this. I'm telling you, like the raw emotion, it was just crazy. I'm glad Lulu, like I said, I'm glad she did not see Maxie because all that boo-hooing and oh, this is my fault, this is this, that, and the third. Maxie really didn't need none of that right now. She did not need it. When Nina went to Faison's room and she was yelling and screaming and the guard tried to stop her and stuff like that and Valentine stopped her, I said, wow. She said, you murderer. She was just yelling everything. She said, you son of a bitch, you murderer. She was going off. Michelle Stafford nailed it today. Let me tell you something. Michelle Stafford is a great dramatic actress. Like she really is. She's good at dramatics. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like when it comes to giving you that raw emotion and her going off on somebody, she's great with emotional dramatic scenes. Like she's one that's like her best thing. Like, you know, that's her ace in the hole right there. When she has to do like dramatic scenes and emotional scenes, Michelle Stafford is the best one for it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like I said, I can't stand Nina sometimes, but lately she's been on my good side and she's been knocking it out the park. I love that scene. I do feel like Valentine has some involvement in this somehow. I do feel like that because he definitely has that guilty look on his face, like he's neck deep in this. I don't know what part he played, but I have a feeling he played a part. And of course, he does not want Nina to know because if Nina finds out he played any part in this, it's a wrap. That wedding ring will be coming off, and this time it will be permanent. I'm just saying, because you know how Nina felt about Nathan. So, Valentine, you better hope she never finds out if you had anything to do with this, because that's your ass. Um, it would be, and I wouldn't shed a tear for you. You would deserve it. I'm just saying. You've been into some shady things. I love the scene though with Lisa going into the room and stuff like that. And she had a flashback of her and Nathan in the hospital. I think it was around Christmas, and I guess he had got her a gift or something like that. I think it was around Christmas. Those scenes, man, these emotional scenes, just like they get you feeling emotional. Like that's how crazy it is. It makes you feel emotional. First of all, where was the guard at that was supposed to be outside the door at Faison's hospital room? How did Peter just get up in there and the machines, the monitors are beeping and going off, but yet the guard was nowhere by the door? I'm like, where the hell is the guard? I don't know. Maybe he knocked the guard out. Maybe he paid the guard off. I don't know. I was just like, where the hell is the guard? Because the guard was patting Drew and Sam down. So where was the pat down for Peter? Where the hell was the guard? Hopefully, I don't know. Are they killing? I mean, I guess they're gonna kill Faison off. I suppose. I can't really say that I blame Peter for wanting him dead though, because for years he had to fight for his father's love and attention. So it kind of makes sense that he would kill him off or whatever. But like I said, I wish Anna could have did it. But I digress. But anyway, yeah, this was a pretty dope episode today. Um, hit the comment section. Let me know how you felt about today's episode, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.